jizz. Okay. Move with this thing. And click. Blip. Pick things up. Blip, blip, blip. Examine. Right click. Show hide inventory. Skip cutscene with escape. Pause with escape. What? That doesn't make sense, boo. Show hotpots. Hotpots. Double click to quick exit. Okay, I'll think about it. Double click to shut the hell up. Fictiorama.
Do you think he'll recover?
I don't know. It's too soon to say. We should let him rest.
Yeah, let me rest.
He's been very feeble for weeks. He can't get up. He doesn't speak. Do you think we should call a doctor?
Call a doctor? Here?
You're right. Let's just hope he wakes up one of these days. Come on, my friend. Hang on. Don't give up. Please, let me
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Wake up,
Michael.
Sorry.
Come on, you have to wake up.
What if I don't want to? You know? Who are you?
Who are you? Who's there?
Please, Michael, wake up. Wake up.
This silence. This darkness. Where am I? Damn it. I can't remember. Where are you? Where are you hiding?
Michael, please wake up. You have to wake up.
I'm trying. Shut up.
Michael? Is that my name?
That's
Please
a
tell me
stupid
where I am.
name.
I can't remember anything. What's happening? What is this place? Please, tell me.
Wake up, Michael. Please wake up. Wake up now.
I'm trying, bitch. Fuck off.
Don't go. Please. Come back. Come back.
Fuck off.
This darkness.
It's
This
not real.
emptiness.
It's not real. Is that a suitcase? Give me a suitcase. Oh, good, empty. That's helpful. Oil lamp. I'll take that.
Good morning. I hope you're feeling better.
Who the fuck are you?
But
Now don't be alarmed. I'm glad you feel strong enough to get out of bed. That's wonderful news. I must say you're looking much better, considering what you've been through, of course.
Who the fuck are you?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive my manners. You've been with us for so long that I forgot that you don't know who we are. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rod Atkinson. I was the director of the Municipal Property Registry before, well, you know, before the world collapsed on us.
pleased to meet you, Mr. Atkinson.
Okay.
Can you tell me what I'm doing here?
Yes, of course. I think we owe you an explanation. A few days after the Great Wave, we found you lying in a ditch near the airport. You were badly injured and unconscious. We couldn't just leave you there. So we decided
Sorry, I didn't mean
to
to
take
do
care
that.
of
God damn it.
yourselves. And you're here. You've been with us ever since.
Oh,
By
gee
the way,
whiz, thanks.
I should tell you that when we found you, your clothes were ripped to shreds. So we threw them away. You'll find more things in that wardrobe. If you need anything...
Thank you, Mr. Atkinson. But... the Great Wave?
Yeah, what the fuck
What are you
is that?
talking about?
Well, what would I be talking about?
I don't know.
That damned, excuse my language, explosion that brought ruin to all of us. The origin of this filthy new world that now seems to be our permanent reality. You look a little confused, if you don't mind my saying so. Do you really not know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I really don't know.
I'm afraid not. Let me ask you. You said with us. Who else lives here?
Ah, yes, of course. I still haven't properly introduced my family to you. Now is a bad time, but I promise to make proper introductions later.
Whatever.
My wife and I sleep in the other room, and, well, little Colin sleeps with us.
Colin?
Yes, Colin is our only child. Our one ray of hope since the catastrophe. I'm going to confess something to you. Colin is the only reason my wife and I still struggle to keep going in this new world. We would have given up a long time ago if it weren't for him.
Of course. I understand. So that was your wife's voice that woke me up a few minutes ago, right?
My wife? No, that's impossible. My wife has been with me in the other room the whole time. We haven't come out of there for hours. But I'm glad you're feeling better and are fully conscious.
What the fuck?
I guess we could say you've been reborn.
Whoa.
And although the circumstances aren't the best, simply being alive nowadays is practically a luxury. So, welcome to our home.
Awesome.
From what you've told me, I see that you've saved my life. I'm very grateful, Mr. Atkinson.
Yeah, thanks,
No,
bro.
please. You don't have to thank us. We just did what we had to.
Whatever.
It's our moral obligation to uphold the ethical principles of civilization in this new world. But call me Rod, please. And,
Okay, Rod.
well, we also did it for Colin, you see. What kind of future does he face if we accept that it's every man for himself?
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
a terrifying prospect, don't you think? We're just doing whatever we can to avoid that.
Where am I? What is this place?
You are in what I venture to call our home.
Interesting.
Our humble.
Yeah,
This is
very
one of the
interesting.
many trailers that make up the refugee camp. And believe me, we can consider ourselves lucky to live between these four walls. Most of the inhabitants of this hellhole, excuse my crude language, have nothing more than plastic tarps and cardboard for shelter.
Wait a second. Did you say refugee camp?
Yes, of course. The Facility for Temporary Accommodation of Disaster Victims is what they called it.
The
You know, after the army declared martial law following the catastrophe. But do you really not remember? Do you really not remember anything about all this?
Yeah, I don't know anything.
I feel a little weak and dizzy, Mr. Atkinson.
I don't know shit, bro.
I'm afraid I can't. I can't remember a thing.
I see. There have been many cases like yours in the camp. Try to rest and not to get too agitated. Well, there's one thing I can tell you. You can consider yourself fortunate. There's nothing nice to remember about recent...
Whatever. Who's moaning?
Rod! Rod!
What?
Please excuse me, but I have to leave you now.
No, wait, please. What's happening? Don't go yet.
I'm sorry, I understand that you have a lot of questions to ask me, but now isn't the time. Believe me, I
Okay.
promise to answer each and every one of your questions in peace and quiet later.
Okay,
Sorry,
great.
but I have to go.
Okay, sorry. Right, yeah. Go away.
Rod, please, quickly!
Tell that kid to shut up.
Okay, all right.
Now that you're feeling better, you can go out. But
Whatever,
please be
thank
very
you.
careful out there. The world, heed
Yeah,
my
whatever.
warning, at least until someone explains to you how things work.
Whatever, thank
Everything
you.
has changed.
Yeah, I get
All
it.
right. Thanks for...
Yeah, thanks for the advice. Go fuck yourself and your whole
One
family.
more thing before I go. You've been with us for quite a while now, and we don't even know what to call you. What is your name?
Apparently it's
My name?
Michael.
Michael. My name is Michael.
Very pleased to meet you, Mike.
Yeah, fuck off.
Michael. That's what that disembodied voice called me. That must be my name.
I don't
Wake up,
remember
Michael.
anything.
That's all she said. Leaving me in this immense void where I can't remember anything. Great
Can't
wave.
remember anything.
New world? Refugee camp? But what the devil could have happened out there? I think it might be a good idea to go out there and take a look. With the glass in the door broken and that thick coating of grease lining it, I doubt anything's been baked in this.
That's an interesting story.
There's a very worn old notebook hidden under the lid. The cover is practically falling off the spiral binding. It looks like someone stashed it here sometime.
That's super interesting, dude.
A pile of frying pans, plates, and... Ugh. This place smells like a cheap, greasy spoon.
Delicious.
This oil lamp is the room's only source of light. The flickering of the flame makes the room look ghostly, like in a dream. More like in a nightmare.
Interesting.
I can hear people whispering on the other side. The same one who made sure to bolt shut.
Oh, it's bolted shut. What a crock
It's an
of
old
shit.
accounting letter. From what's written in here, it looks like someone was using it as a diary before ripping out almost all its pages and leaving it inside the oven in the trailer.
What the fuck? That's interesting.
It's a bit dented. It was used to cover a very large roasting pan. In fact, it still has some traces of food stuck to it.
Yummy. Eat it.
Impossible. It's locked.
Well,
I'm
that's
afraid my
fucking
host
gay.
forgot to unlock it before he left.
A fucking dick bag.
Good God. What the hell happened here? Rada was right.
It's a
I
fucking
don't know what hit
dump.
this place. But whatever it was, it struck into its very foundations without any mercy whatsoever. What's happening now?
You better hide, dude. Don't you know that it's dangerous to show your face when the cleanup brigades come into the camp? You're new here, aren't you?
Why isn't your mouth?
You could put it that way.
Well, welcome to your new home. I'm Hank, but everyone calls me the Hunter.
I'm Michael. But what's going on up there?
No, I'm
Nothing
Bilbo.
like just routine. The cleanup brigades are taking away a sick person, a dissolved. You know how it is, just doing their job. Ironically, that house belongs to one of the camp moles. Those traitorous scumbags.
Brigades, dissolved, moles. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't remember anything.
Oh, I see, you're a blankhead. Well, you better get up to speed real quick if you want to survive here, Mike.
blankhead.
Find me if you need help, dude. I can get you whatever you need.
Call me
Doesn't
dude,
matter
asshole.
where it is, how fast it runs, or where it tries to hide. That's why they call me the Hunter.
All right. I'll remember that.
Come back here! Don't take her away! Don't you know who I am? Come back here!
They fucking plugged that
They
motherfucker.
shot that poor man in cold blood. But why did they do that? Hey, Hank?
He's gone. The fuck is going on here?
I'm afraid he's gone.
I'm not afraid.
The half-scrap remains of a sports car that looks like a collector's item. From the style, it must have been worth a pretty penny a long, long time ago. But now, I'm afraid it's just scrap metal.
Why are you afraid of everything? What the fuck was that? What is going on here?
But what's happening?
Yeah, what's going
What
on?
is this? What the hell's going on here? Good God. I think I'm starting to lose my mind.
Yeah. I think you're right.
It's the lot outside Rod's trailer. The ground is covered with trash, scrap metal, and broken glass. Something tells me it might not be a good idea to walk around here barefoot.
You got shoes on? Homeless man.
A supermarket shopping cart full of this individual who looks like a bum never takes his eyes off it. And the swarm of insects fluttering around the merchandise don't either.
Interesting.
He must be one of the inhabitants of the refugee camp. What the hell?
Let's talk to him.
Ouch! Damn it! I managed to rip open the sole of my foot in a rusty nail.
Sweet.
Hey, it's not a good idea to walk around barefoot in this enormous trash heap. You won't get very far without shoes.
Yeah, thanks for the tip.
The tip is yours to keep. But if you come near my things, you're a dead man. Understood? Wait, I recognize you. Aren't you the guy Rod's been taking care of in his trailer all this time?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Do you know Rod?
Of course I do. Everyone in the camp knows Rod. You owe him your life. Don't doubt that for a second. Nowadays, no one in his right mind would do what he did for you, for a total stranger.
Yes, I'm very grateful to him. But tell me, can I ask you a few questions? Tell me about Rod Atkinson.
Well, I don't know him very well, but they say he's decent enough. Too decent for the times we're living in. Did you know that before coming here, he was someone important? I think he worked for the government, and he still has some good contacts on the outside.
I don't care.
Not good enough to get that stupid do-gooder and his family out of here.
Stupid do-gooder?
Well, you know how it is. Rod is one of those good Samaritans who think they can save the world. He has helped a lot of people in the camp, but I think he's going to run into problems. I reckon that he's too weak for these times. I don't know how long he'll be able to survive.
You said he had a son. A pretty good reason to hang on, don't you think?
Yes, Colin. I haven't seen that kid running around here for some time. You know if he's all right?
I don't know. I still haven't seen him. His father told me about it.
I think he's
Well,
sick.
I'm glad he's not anywhere near me. That brat doesn't have anything better to do than to try to snoop in my shopping cart.
You're an asshole.
I've been hearing about an enormous explosion. The Great Wave. What on earth are they talking about?
But what kind of question is that? Where have you been all this time? Sleeping in a cave?
A ditch.
You could say that.
The Great Wave is the reason we're confined here like animals. The entire world went to hell in a handcart that day, and we went with it.
Oh.
Confined? Do you mean we can't leave the refugee camp?
Refugee camp. I've always found that term amusing. It seems like things on the other side of the fence work a little better. But here, look around you. Does this look like a refugee camp? It's an army detention camp. And you're a prisoner. Once you come in here, you lose everything, even your name. To them, you're nothing more than a rat. Just another camp rat. You'd never be able to get through the gate, especially if you don't know anyone or don't have any contacts on the outside. Doesn't matter who you might have been before the old world collapsed. Believe me, I speak from experience. If you're just a camp rat, I'm afraid the only way out of here is feet first. I don't know if you get my meaning.
Yeah, I get it.
Of course I do. Thanks for your encouraging words.
You can keep the words, but come near my things and you're a dead man.
I've been able to see that with my own eyes.
Okay, I'll tell you what I know. The Great Wave hit us one Friday afternoon right out of the blue. I remember it perfectly because I'd just come out of an important meeting at that precise moment. I'd made a lot of money from a very fat contract.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure you
sirree,
did.
Bob. Very, very fat.
Yeah, whatever.
First, we felt the ground quake, as if a volcano was about to erupt right under our feet. I had to get out of my car and run. Then came the explosions. Glass broke. Buildings toppled. And then for weeks, the stench of corpses rotting in the streets.
Awesome.
In just a few hours, that damn Great Wave sent us all, with our businesses, our money, and our convertibles, straight back to the Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages?
Of course! Are you surprised? In a matter of minutes, we were left with no electricity, no water, no communications. And after the initial chaos, the dissolved started to show up. And that horrible gash opened up in the sky. That stupid breach up there that no one in this hellhole has bothered to explain to us. The fact is that the remains of the old system only held up for a few weeks. And through the cracks, what you see around you started seeping in.
The new world, right?
Yes, indeed. You catch on fast.
Uh-oh.
The new world
Did I just lose
was
internet?
here to stay. Welcome to the future, son. Not exactly the way you pictured it, huh?
Shit. Am I streaming? Oh, you know what? And the camera's fucked up. The whole time. Awesome.
This shooting. Could you explain to me what just happened here?
Explain what exactly? That show the
Tacos,
cleanup
hello?
brigades put on? Someone got too chatty and ratted out a sick person. That's all. There's usually a pact of silence in the camp. No one likes to see one of their own in those ambulances. But in this case, the dissolved was a relative of one of the camp moles. Ironic, isn't it?
But they shot a man.
Yes, so they did. So what? The price of human life has gotten a lot cheaper lately. That needn't surprise anyone these days.
Did you say dissolved?
Of course, dissolved. But what the hell's wrong with you? Those people are a real plague. They're sick, and, so they say, highly contagious. Let me give you a piece of advice about them. If you see one, run the other way like he was the devil himself. Even if they don't give you that deadly disease or drive you crazy with their trances, the cleanup brigades will kill you for hiding one. You saw it with your own eyes. They don't even respect their own camp moles.
A camp mole? What is that exactly?
A spy. A stool pigeon. It's in the
Oh,
Army's
really?
interest to control the camp from inside. And so they pay some of the inhabitants to feed them information about what happens on this side of the fence.
Oh my god, it's super interesting.
And who goes out, who causes trouble, and, of course, who gets sick. They're scumbags, but very well paid scumbags. And they have certain privileges that no one else in here has. Never trust a mole. They'll do anything.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Well,
Just be
Yeah, whatever. Holy crap, that was a long ass conversation.
a bunch of shacks. Trying valiant. I can't imagine how it... Someone improvised a bonfire inside that drum. Although the smoke starts to irritate the lungs pretty quickly, it seems like the only heating system... No. With my foot in this condition, I wouldn't get very far. I think it would be better to go back inside the trailer and try to take care of this wound.
Holy crap, dude.
It's no use.
Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do, man? I don't have anything.
It's an unframed snapshot. Two adults and a child smiling at the camera in what looks like... Well, look at that. When I pulled back the sheet, part of it got torn on the spring sticking out of the bed frame. I hope
Cool.
Rod doesn't notice. The bed frame under the mattress is so battered, it turned into a very sharp protruding object.
Interesting.
A depressing sight. A damp mattress on a bed frame and dirty, rumpled sheets. This is the bed where I've been convalescing all this time.
Delicious. Did I get the... What about the ripped sheet that I had? What the fuck?
Better not. The squeak of the protruding bed spring scraping against this metal lid would grate on my nerves.
Oh, sorry.
If I want to open... I don't see anything here that could be covered. The oil lamp is the only... Better not fool with it.
I don't know what to do. Fuck you.
Use this here?
I don't know. Use it on your face.
The oil lamp, better not. I don't see anything here.
Use it on your fucking face, dickhead. Didn't you grab the bed sheet? You're supposed to rip the bed sheet and use it on your stupid foot.
I'm not gonna snuff out this oil lamp.
I'm gonna snuff you out.
Impossible. I'm afraid my host forgot to...
Excuse me.
This oven is empty. There's nothing left in there.
Excuse me. You're pissing me off, dude. I don't know what the hell to do. Why don't you fucking stab yourself? Protruding dog shit.
Let's see. I could swear that the lid is just the right size for this drum.
Huh.
Perfect.
Why did I do that? What's the point?
Damn it! What's going on? This damn shithole is going to be the end of us.
What's his problem?
Damn it! What's going on?
This individual seems a little unhinged, and judging from his threats, overflowing, dirty, and infested.
Breathe in this hellhole anymore.
Well, then leave.
This guy's in no condition. I'll have to do this quickly before this man stops coughing. Well, let's see what we have here.
Filthy shithole.
I don't see anything but rotten food, tattered clothes, and trash. Wait a minute. It seems like there's also a small billfold with a bunch of credit cards.
So?
What the hell is this guy doing with so much plastic money?
How's that gonna help me? Oh, okay. I know how it's gonna help me. Like this.
Let's see if I can do this.
Yeah.
The mechanism gave way on the first try.
Because I'm a genius.
For my sake, I hope
Excuse
that
me.
guy outside never finds out about this.
He's a dick sucker, who cares?
Not just yet. These shoes don't look very clean.
So what?
It won't take more than a few hours for the wound on my foot to turn really ugly.
Oh, right. I forgot. Sorry. What's this with this?
What for? I'd only end up...
Yeah, so? What?
For now, it's just a pillowcase.
You're a fucking asshole.
I took it out of here.
Put it on your foot. You're a fucking asshole. Can I take that thing back?
Someone improvised now that I've covered the top. The smoke coming out of the bullet hole on the side is...
What's going on?
Damn it. What the fuck? I don't know what to do.
A person can't even
White,
breathe in this
folded,
hellhole
with a scent of
anymore.
fabric softener. It's sad, but this pillowcase is the nicest thing I've seen since I woke up.
Wow.
A high-proof whiskey, and by the looks of it, an expensive one. The bottle was hidden in Rod's closet, and I suppose that despite his apparent strength, that man...
Fuck. Damn it.
The pillowcase is quite large. What for? I'm not going to waste the whiskey on this. That would only make a puddle in the closet. And those shoes wouldn't be much cleaner than they are now. I don't think I'd gain anything. To be frank, it doesn't seem like a very good idea to be spilling.
Oh my god, I don't know what to do.
I'd only...
Oh shit, is it doing it?
Okay. Let's see how this protruding bed spring can cut.
What's this? Bandages?
I'll use a little of what's in the bottle to soak the bandages. A handful of bandages soaked in scotch.
Use them on your fucking foot, dude. Are you gonna put them in the shoes? What?
Here goes. I'll use the bandages on my foot.
Alright.
I hope the alcohol is enough to keep it from getting infected.
Hope your face is enough to keep it from
Pray
shutting
this
the fuck
improvised
up.
remedy doesn't lead to a delightful case of gangrene.
Gangrene your ass.
Bastard put a lid on the drum!
Oh no.
Suffocate you bunch of assholes!
I think that guy out there just discovered the reason for his sudden coughing fit.
I don't
Some
care.
coward in this shithole wanted to suffocate me! Me! Who was it? Who was it? Come back here so I can give you back your lid, you son of a bitch!
Uh-oh.
Did you hear that noise, Rod? What's going on out there?
Uh-oh.
I'll go have a look. I think it's that poor drunk who's always hanging around the trailer. He's kicking up a fuss again. It's a good thing poor Colin can't hear his insults.
Oh, poor
Don't ever
Colin.
say anything like that again, Rod.
I'm sorry, honey. I wasn't thinking.
Oh. Hey, you guys.
What are you doing here? Get out of here! You've no business being in this room!
I'm sorry. Holy shit.
Rod, I'm sorry.
What's wrong with your ugly kid?
But what's going on?
Get out of here, Michael! You didn't see anything, understood? Out! Out!
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry.
Excuse my outburst, Michael. I shouldn't have behaved that way. It's
You're
not
crazy.
like
Oh,
but this new world brings out the worst in all of us. It's just that I can't stand to see Colin suffer this way. So for your own good, please stay away from this room.
What happened?
Away? Why?
It's no use trying to hide it. You're bound to find out sooner or later. Colin is very sick, and the
What does he
authorities
have,
claim
AIDS?
his illness is highly contagious.
Highly contagious? Is he one of the dissolved?
Michael, I won't let anyone use that word in my house! Yes, Colin caught that damn disease.
And what exactly does the disease consist of?
I don't know, Michael. No one really does.
Oh.
The only news is what the army brings us. They say the disease is highly contagious, and it's our duty to turn over all victims to the cleanup brigades. But no one has ever come back after being carried off in one of those ambulances. No one. So we can't let them take Colin, do you understand?
Yes, of course I understand.
They say that all the victims are condemned, that there's no salvation for anyone.
Salvation!
That at the end of their suffering and their trances lies certain death. I think that even the army is afraid of the victims. Really strange things happen around them, Michael.
Oh,
Things
really?
you wouldn't believe.
What things happen around people infected with the disease?
Strange things with no possible explanation.
Like...
They go places, Michael. They bring back information. They know things. They talk to people who are no longer with us. And we've been living like this for weeks. The things that are happening around Colin are getting more and more confusing and hard to bear.
Cool.
Talking to the dead? Jesus. This man's nerves are shot from exhaustion and stress.
How'd it get infected? Fart knocker?
We don't know. No one knows how the disease is spread.
I'm gonna spread through your face with a
Is
handgun.
that the disease appeared after the catastrophe, and that it's spreading like wildfire.
I don't
The
care.
Great Wave brought the dissolved with it?
Yes, but don't use that word again. Not in this house anyway.
Can I just say AIDS? Your son has AIDS.
In effect, that's the
Your
only
son has
thing we know
AIDS.
for sure about all this insanity. The Great Wave took everything from us and left us with this epidemic.
AIDS epidemic.
Colin is terrible. If only there was something I could do.
Well, Michael,
Find a cure for
you can
AIDS?
help us. I'm convinced that our finding you was no coincidence. You've got to help
Or you
us.
believe in Jesus?
But you said yourself that all the victims are condemned. What can I do?
No, all is not lost. In the camp, there are rumors of a cure. In the city,
Excuse
on
me.
the fence, the victims have access to a drug.
Anti-AIDS
We can't get it
drug.
here. And my contacts out there, well, let's just say they can't do anything to help.
So there's a drug that can cure them.
Yes, but they say that producing it takes a long time and is very expensive.
Oh my
And
god,
so
you know what else
it's
takes a
reserved
long
for city
time?
dwellers
For
who
you to
can afford
fucking
pay
talk
for
to
it.
me. God
Get us
damn
that
it.
drug, Michael. I beg of you, please.
I'll think about it.
Is running out.
I don't give a shit about your fucking child.
Getting involved looks dangerous. I saw that shooting out there. There's also the possibility of infection.
Yeah, I don't want to get AIDS.
Are you afraid for your life, Michael? Without our help, you'd be dead right now. Dead. Don't forget that.
Hey, I was comfortable as shit in that ditch.
Return. I could help you get back what you lost. Don't you see?
Give me back what I lost?
What did I
You hardly
lose?
know me, Rod.
My ass?
I know the essential
dick?
part, Michael. I know that you're a blankhead.
Hey, don't use that word. If I'm not allowed to use the word, whatever, dissolved,
Who can't remember
then you can't
things.
fucking call me
It
that,
seems
asshole.
That the Great Wave had an enormous neurological impact on certain people, Michael.
Yeah,
You're not
neurological
the only
impacts
one.
on your
Or
face.
even the worst case. There are people who even forgot how to talk and how to walk after the explosion. Some ended up dying of starvation. They forgot what food looked like, how to chew it, even that eating was a necessity. You can
Retards.
consider yourself lucky. You still remember how to keep yourself alive. And that's the important
How do you know? I haven't eaten anything yet.
process is slow.
What if I'm just like, whoa, wait, what did you say? Food? What's
Listen to
that?
me, Michael. A man without
Bitch.
memories is just a shadow. Or even worse, he's nobody.
You're
I
nobody.
still have some
Fuck you.
contacts out
Talking
there.
shit to me.
I was an important man in the municipal government.
Yeah, you keep
I could
talking
trace
about
your
that.
name, your data in public records,
Mhm.
your fingerprints.
Mhm.
I could restore your whole life in
Mhm.
the blink of an eye. But please, help us.
I'm grateful for your help, Rod, and for everything you people have done for me.
But
Listen to me, Michael. We know that it's possible that
Excuse
our
me.
son is condemned to die. In
I don't
fact,
care.
My wife and I have everything prepared for when he leaves us.
a bomb?
Our child is the only thing that keeps us holding on in the new world.
But he's
Nothing
gonna
will have
die,
any meaning
idiot.
for us. So if there is
Excuse
even
me.
the slightest chance of saving him, we are prepared to do whatever it takes.
Good for you, I
Please,
hate you.
Michael, help us.
No. I mean, I'll think about it. Tell that kid to shut the fuck up.
For God's sake, listen to him. He's just a child.
Tell him to shut the fuck up.
Rod, come in here, quickly.
Bring us that
Rod,
cure,
Rod,
and we'll
Rod,
help you
Rod,
get your
Rod.
life back. Colin is our
It's
only
Rod.
hope in this new world. Help us save our future, and I'll give you back your past. I promise you. Goodbye, Michael.
No,
Bye.
wait. Bring a drug? Is he out of his mind? That man wants me to put his son's life in my hands? I can barely remember who I am.
Yeah, I don't even know my
I probably
fucking
wouldn't last
name.
more than a few hours out there. But Rod was right. A man without a past is nothing more than his shadow. He offered to help me get my life back, my memories. So if I want answers, I have only one possible course of action. To
Take
get
a
that
shit. Oh. Alright. This is what it looks like when you put shoes on? You go from purple feet to feet that are the same color as your pants? Are you serious? What world do you live in, sir?
Before leaving, I should write down. It might come in handy if, as Rod says, I'm one of the blankheads the Great Wave left in its wake.
Oh, interesting. What'd you write down? Rod promised me he'd help me recover my past in exchange for some drugs. He's a drug addict. Oh, look, it's that thing. Okay, let's go. Fuck. How do I save my game? Continue. Okay, cool. Tense.
A quick glance is enough to make you realize how forsaken these poor people are.
Fuck these
confined
people.
against their will inside the camp.
Tell him I said, fuck him. This way? Huh? Whoa, what? Christ.
What's going on?
It's cause that kid.
It's amazing. Everything's changing again.
It's cause that trippy ass kid, dude.
Everything is mutating, and I haven't even moved. I don't understand. I don't understand anything.
I don't understand anything. I'm a fucking crackhead. Wasn't there something over here?
It's the enormous fence around the perimeter of the camp, with surveillance from the towers and on the ground. This barbed wire fence intensifies the feeling of claustrophobia.
Oh yeah, look over there.
Making it even more suffocating.
Interesting. Super duper interesting. Go this way. Who are you?
Another camp inhabitant. He seems quite elderly. What's he doing here all by himself?
Taking a shit.
Hello.
Hello, son. Would you like to get a little closer to the fire?
Thanks, mister. This is a rather isolated part of the camp. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm waiting.
Waiting for what?
All. Just waiting.
Waiting for what?
And what is it you're waiting for exactly?
Nothing in particular. The usual. For the fire to go out. For sunrise. For it to get cold again. I'm waiting for something to change. Or for everything to stay as... I'm just waiting. You're too young to understand.
So tell me, is there any way to get out of the camp?
I'm sorry, son. The only way to get out of this camp is to know someone important who can pull strings for you.
Interesting.
Or become a camp mole. Those traitorous scumbags have gate passes.
I see.
I'm not surprised you want to get out of this shithole. You've no doubt got something to do or someone to find out there. Well, they say things are better in the city. That there's order and that things are starting to function again. But who knows? Well, at least they have Reverend Blake and the consolation of Suicide Park.
Suicide Park? What the fuck?
Suicide Park? What's that?
Nah, just a song that drifts into the refugee camp from the other side of the fence now and then. And the first dark stars come out to hang from the sky. We could sit and count them together, you and I, when the sun departs from Suicide Park. I'm sure you still have some hopes, some dreams. I'm afraid you're just too young to understand it.
And what was the extent of the Great Wave's impact? How are things beyond the city?
Truth is, I couldn't tell you. In the first days, the chaos was so overwhelming that no one worried about anything beyond their own backyard. We victims were disoriented, cut off from the world. Then I came into the camp and news from far-off places doesn't reach this prison. I'm afraid you'd have to leave here to get the answer to that question.
Who's Reverend Blake?
He's a preacher. Sometimes comes from the city to bring us a little comfort. Now, some people make jokes about him, but many of us believe that he's a prophet. You should hear him speak sometime. His words etch themselves deeply into your soul. That's why he has so many followers inside and outside the camp.
It's starting to get cold. Where's your tent? Or your trailer?
Yes, I had a tent once. They issued me one when I decided to enter the refugee camp after the Great Wave. The trailer was out of the question. They went to the families with the best contacts. Ah, you know how it is. Even in purgatory, some people are more equal than others.
You say that you decided to enter the camp. Does that mean that people weren't forced to come here?
Oh, no. Of course not. Why would they have to force us? The catastrophe hit the city hard. Those of us who had lost our homes were invited to come here. In principle, it was temporary, just until the authorities got the situation under control and started rebuilding. We used to have food, water, and a place to sleep.
But now it's more like a prison camp than a refugee center. What happened?
I don't really know. I guess something went wrong. The new housing they promised us never got built. And in the end, the army seized control of the camp. The food ran out, and then the water supply. Nobody bothered to replace them. Seems like our lives didn't matter anymore.
I see.
In time, things in here started to get very ugly. There were riots, uprisings, and the army decided to close the gates of the camp without any notice. One day they decided that no one could enter or leave here. Well, actually, people still could. Enter, that is. Now, this is where anyone who gets in the way in the city ends up. Or anyone they don't know what to do with.
So, this has turned into something like a concentration camp.
That's right, son. That's exactly what it is. You know, it's funny. I remember when my father told us about the war in Europe. About all the persecution, deportations, those overcrowded cattle cars. That all sounded to us like an old movie. An old horror movie. And look at us now. I guess some things never change. They just stop being visible for long enough for us to forget about them.
And where's your tent now?
It was stolen from me a while back. They fetch a good price on the black market now.
Stolen? But how could anyone...
You seem to be new in the camp, am I right? These things happen nowadays. It's best to take things as they come. The reality of the new world is very simple, son. The soldiers and the moles do whatever they like on this side of the fence. And the hunter and his men run the black market and all the dirty rackets. I suggest you memorize all this.
The hunter? I've exchanged a few words with him, but I hardly know him. Yes. The man who protected me during all the shooting. He seems like someone with good connections and some answers. Could he know anything about the drug for treating the dissolved? Do you know where I can find him?
You can find him in those barracks at the back. That's his... well, let's say it's his logistics office. Now, the hunter is very dangerous. Watch your step around him and his men. I happened to meet his father when he was young. He was a violent, degenerate son of a bitch. A real asshole. And I'm afraid his son has followed in his footsteps.
Let's talk about something else. I should be going on my way. Have a pleasant wait, mister. Although it seems shoddily and hastily built, no doubt this must belong to someone. Although it seems shoddily and hastily built, it's surprising to see a brick-and-mortar building in the midst of all the trailers and hovels in the refugee camp. No doubt this must belong to someone important, or with Okay, here goes. It's impossible to budge these drums at all. I don't know what they contain, but whatever it is, it weighs a ton. Someone placed a bunch of those rusty drums up against the wall. Ugh. They smell like liquor and industrial oil. Oh, Jesus. The cocktail of odors is nauseating. Okay. It's a... Dozens of stored drums stacked chaotically. What the devil... It's a bunch of open beer cans. I'm not sure why, but I find the smell of stale alcohol they give off just... He's behind the bar, and he serves the drinks. Now, I don't claim to be clairvoyant, but I'd swear this guy is the owner of the place.
What are you having, pal?
Nope. I'm afraid I don't have any cash on me.
That's no problem here. We don't only accept cash, we also barter. We accept anything of value. That excludes checks, naturally.
Interesting place. Are you the owner?
No, pal, don't get the wrong idea. I only work here. This belongs to the hunter, like every other business enterprise here inside the camp. He's the head honcho.
I see. What do you sell here?
Anything you can eat or drink. Anything that fits into a box or a bottle. For other types of goods, talk to the hunter directly. What do you need? Liquor, tobacco, food?
At the moment, I don't need anything like that, but I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. I saw a bunch of barrels stacked up at the entrance to the building. Just out of curiosity, what's in them?
Nothing. Just some things that need to be stored. Take my advice, pal. Keep your nose out of the hunter's business if you want to keep it on your face.
Okay, it was just curiosity.
My bad.
The cheerful patrons of the bar. I suppose the gray substance one of them is sipping is liquor, but I can't tell what kind. I don't think he can either. That's the background music for the establishment. The speaker is cranking out a dreary, droning country song, and it's getting on my nerves.
I like it. Shut up.
Hey, that's the guy I was talking to during the shooting by the... What did he say his name was? The Hunter?
Mike, my friend, it's nice to see you again.
Hi.
Guys, this is my friend Mike. He's new around here. We met at one of the cleanup brigade's latest parties. Isn't that right, dude? Pull up a seat and have a drink. We like to be hospitable to newcomers.
Something tells me I shouldn't accept that drink. That it's not a good idea. Not anymore. No thanks. I don't drink.
Okay, Mike. Whatever you say. But I'm not accustomed to people turning down a drink. At least, not in my own establishment, in front of my men. So tell me,
sorry,
what brings you here?
A friend of mine is in a bad way. I need to know if there's a drug that can help the dissolved, and how to get it.
A friend of yours, huh? Friendship is important, Mike. The camp is a very tough place, and you have to be loyal to your people. I like your gesture. Do I know this person?
No, I don't think so.
I see. Well, look, dude, I've heard something about that cure, but I don't know if it's true or just a camp legend. Sometimes desperation leads to wishful thinking. You know how it is. But if that drug exists, I can think of only one place you'd be able to find it.
Where?
There's a small medical center on the outskirts of the city. It's more like a pharmaceutical warehouse, but it's heavily guarded. I bet my bottom dollar that's where they keep anything that valuable. Maybe you should take a look at that building.
Maybe.
If you can find a way out of this hellhole, that is. And I can't help you with that.
Damn it.
You know I like you, dude. Let me give you a piece of advice. Stay away from those untouchables. From the dissolved. They won't bring you anything but trouble.
What more can you tell me about the dissolved?
Excuse me.
Only what the authorities say. And that's all I need to know. The disease is fatal. And they say you can catch it just by breathing next to one of those untouchables. That's why they have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Have you ever seen one of those poor suckers die, dude?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're lucky, Mike. I don't recommend it. It's a horrible spectacle. It goes something like this. After weeks of drifting in and out of their trances, something happens inside their bodies. Something fails all of a sudden. The pain makes them kick and scream like pigs in a slaughterhouse. Then their flesh begins to melt, to become liquid. Do you understand, Mike? That's why they gave it that name. They literally dissolve.
But that's terrible. Those poor people.
On the contrary, dude, those bastards spread the plague. It's them or us. Understand? Anyway, you know how it works. The cleanup brigades tend to be more than generous with responsible citizens who help them with their mission of tracking down the dissolved.
And can't you get hold of some of that drug for me?
I don't get mixed up in things like that, dude. The army has made it very clear. Helping or hiding the dissolved will be severely punished. Not even collaborators are free from reprisals. You saw what happened to that mole. Those pigs are ruthless about this.
What are you talking about, those pigs?
That's camp slang. The soldiers, the cleanup brigades. The inhabitants of this shithole call anyone with a rifle and a uniform a pig. They can blow your head off right on the spot with impunity.
Tell me, why do they call you the Hunter?
That's a good question, Mike. You know my real name is Hank, but no one calls me that anymore. Now I'm the Hunter, because I can find you what you want, when you want it. You know, it doesn't matter where it is. how fast it runs, or where it tries to hide. The new world gave me a new name and a new life.
A new life?
Yeah, a new life. It's hard to explain, dude. But I think in a way, you and I are similar like. That's why I like you. Let me explain it to you. It was the Great Wave. The Great Wave that changed and purified everything. The old world was a messy, complicated, and unjust place. After the Great Wave, everything became crystal clear. When all the old laws disappeared, only one rule remained. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's that simple. And that's the universal law that puts each of us in our rightful place. Do you follow me?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Sounds like a handy way to justify anything and everything, even the indefensible. Yes, Hank. I follow you perfectly.
I knew it. I knew you'd get it straight off, Mike. But don't call me Hank. I told you, that guy died in the Great Wave.
I should be going now.
Fine, Mike. You're welcome anytime. Remember, dude, here we can get you whatever you need. No questions asked.
Thanks, man. Sure is a lot of talking in this game. A lot of fucking talking. You know what? I gotta take a break. Subscribe to my channel and donate all your money to drunkpuppiesonacid.com, and I'll kick you in the nutsack. Bang.